I'm excited. I want to see who's gonna win here. Um,
First hit is Kevin. He's already playing with the winner playmat.
he's pretty much playing to keep it at this stage.
Yes. Bolton lost, yes.
And both Briars have the exact same equipment, and we checked their deck list. They have very similar deck lists, which is
This
gonna
is not the
be.
same illustration.
Sorry?
And the equipment doesn't seem to be the same. It's because of the foil effect.
I think so. It should be the same. Skull cap, tunic, rasp, and scalers.
Vegan is rooting for Kevin because he's playing the cold foil Briar. Good call, good call.
If your cards aren't foiled, are you even playing Flesh and Blood?
So we see a double plunderer. Any spicy difference between lists? No, this is what we were checking, and they are basically the same in this matchup. There is small difference, but majority for like side.
Yeah. I think once they sideboard, they have very similar decks, especially that they run the same list of yellows.
Yes, exactly the same yellows.
So we have Plunder Run, Ball Lightning, blocked, followed by a Surging for 4.
Menacing to draw.
No go again though right now, so it would just be a draw. That
I
would
just
allow.
want to set up the arsenal. So he has a plunderer.
So Ball Lightning, Plunder Run. And I'm gonna assume he put the Plunder Run in Arsenal.
I'm saying so. I don't know how. Do you know how the mirror is played?
Hit as hard as you can while blocking as efficiently as you can.
Yes, how do you do that?
You just so Kevin has one embodiment of Earth. If he has like any non-attack actions like Nimblism or Weave Lightnings, I can see a Nimblism in his hand. He might choose to block the Ball Lightning, and then let the rest of the damage through, and then maximize his damage output. So it's about how much can you block your opponent while maximizing your own outputs, and it's gonna come down to good use of armor and non-attack actions in hand. And I think for the start here, he's choosing to take the damage, which makes sense. You want to stop the biggest on-hit effects, pretty much. Any draw effects are bad.
I think it's a lightning press on Thibaut hand.
Yeah, Thibaut did have a lightning press in his hand. So for example, here you have 4 damage coming to Kevin. Personally, if I'm him, I take that 4 damage because there's no on-hit. There's only pure damage, and you have a really strong turn coming.
Yep.
Like, I expect that we will know who is our Belgian champion within the next 20 minutes.
That's a good thing. It will be perfect for going to eat at the restaurant. But we will still have the opening of the gold foil after.
Oh, exciting.
So they connected even after.
So
Kevin is gonna be our champ. I hope so.
he did take 10 damage here, but I don't think he minds too much. The other trick is obviously not to fall too low with Briar, because once you're too low, then the other Briar can pressure you. But he does have the Scar for a Scar, which is probably why he took this much damage and was happy about it.
Yeah, because he will probably go for the Nibilism after.
And this is
and then having
7.
Dragon.
Yeah. Is it a blue Plunder Run? I'm guessing based
It's a
on the
red
block.
one. It's a red
Red.
one.
So I'm not sure if oh, sorry. He has 3 embodiments of Earth, so this is indeed a block for a full block. So no hit, no draw on the hit from Scar for a Scar. But we do see the nimblism. Plunder Run is still on the chain and is followed by
An
a
arcanic shockwave.
thank you, which is fused. So we
Yep.
do get the arcane damage, but the arcane damage won't trigger Plunder Run. It will need to be physical
It's on
damage that
it.
triggers.
It's just on it.
Correct. So the chain closed, so he gets back his armor. He could use it in this block. And he does fuse with a ball lightning. So
Yes.
at the very least, he will have a ball lightning or something to pitch for the sword.
He will draw for the hit.
If
Oh
he
no.
hits. Because we have another block for 7. Or is it? I forget. Sting of Sorcery blocks for 2, so 5, 6,
Let's check
and
that.
7. Yeah, no, it is a block for 7 because Skullcap is not live, so it's actually blocking for 1 right now.
Yes, blocking for 2.
So
Yeah,
Thibaut
going for 2 and 2.
Thibaut is using his armor early on.
Is it a good thing?
It's. I think he's trying to create a life disparity that's really big, so that he gets to keep tempo, which is really strong. But at the same time, Kevin's attack weren't the most threatening. But he definitely got a lot out of his 3 embodiments of Earth. Like he blocked with 2 cards for 10 in total, which is a lot. So we will see though what he can do with his 3 cards. I think that will decide how good a block that was.
Okay.
Is he has the ball lightning and the ravenous rabble and something in arsenal. So he does have a turn that
It's
comes
a
back.
run.
Yeah.
Surprise.
So I think we might see Kevin use his armor if Thibaut plays his plunder run. He might choose to not play his plunder run and to keep it for next turn where it will be
For a better
stronger.
turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is
He
exactly
decides
what he's
not to.
doing.
Yeah.
Kevin said you already play against 4 Briar today. So normally he knows the matchup.
If you joined them as well, you can't complain if you're facing them.
Bull lightning. It's a yellow.
It is a yellow, which means that if he wanted to, he could use his armor. However, as chat is saying, they believe armor is better used in the late game. I would tend to agree, especially again on hit effects. But in this case, I think Kevin just decides to take the 3 because of Bolt Lightning's effect. And then we have the Rabble for
A plunderer.
which color
And
plunder?
it seems it was a red one, but I'm not 100% sure. I will see. Yeah, so blocking for 3.
So I'm gonna assume it might have been
Yeah, maybe. 3, 4.
a yellow plunder run in that case. So we know that Thibaut has a plunder run in arsenal, a plunder run in hand. I think he has an exude. I didn't see the last 2 cards. So Thibaut will have a big turn coming up next.
So probably not blocking now?
Probably not, even though he did seem to have a lot of non-attack actions. So maybe he does.
Sonata for 2. 1.
Oh, paying
2,
for the Sonata, yeah.
3. Ah, shit. I was hoping for a draw too.
Yeah, I think Kevin was also hoping for a draw too. He does have the rabble. So yeah, I think I agree with this. You take the snatch because what else are you gonna really do? You do still have your Snapdragon scalars, so
I
you
still
can
have
use that.
to the wave lightning.
Yeah, I
Or,
think he forgot to re-add that one. It
yep.
should be going back in the deck as well. There
Yeah.
we go.
Yeah. Remembered. So it's 1 arcane damage gone.
Mm-hmm. I think he has to play the rabble. He has to play the snatch, and then based on whether the snatch is blocked or not, decide to break his Snapdragon scalars. I think if he decides to Arsenal here, the life total might be too far into Thibaut's side, especially if Thibaut has a good hand. Um,
Oh, it's a strike.
so
Cool.
Rabble for 4, that's good. Because he also has his tunic live. So
Yes.
if he snatches, he can then use the tunic to do the sword. Or he could just use the tunic and sword anyways right now. I just think the snatch is more aggressive, which in my opinion is good here.
Yama as right.
Mhm.
He want to see what he will draw with snatch.
Oh, he doesn't even need to use his tunic. He does have one floating.
Yeah. So he seems that he don't want to draw that right now.
Mm, I personally would have gone for it, I think. Because you could just put the E strike in your arsenal, have it for next turn, and it's a good strong attack. But I get why he didn't do it. It's very expensive to just use your boots, but I think the boots in this game should be used sooner rather than later.
Okay.
Cléonis, on est en finale là.
Whoa, going for French.
Oh, he asked in French, and when I asked you if I could stream, I did say I can speak French as well, so I thought I should show it off at least
Yeah,
once.
yeah. This is just the first time I hear you in French. Et oui, Cléonis.
So we see the double plunder run. One of them was from Arsenal.
And I
And
think it's a yellow one from the Arsenal.
mhm. And then I believe we had a fuse on the Arcanic Shockwave.
Oh shit, it's only attack action on
I
Kevin
don't know if anyone
hands.
can confirm.
He can't really block this turn. Oh, I want to close my eye and don't see anything.
Yeah, the double snatch is. Well, he does have the. Wait, he must have an E strike, right? Yeah, he drew the E
Yes,
strike,
and
so
there
he
is
can.
one snatch in the Arsenal.
Yeah. So he can use the E strike to put a snatch at the bottom of his deck, get go again that way, then snatch with the boots, and then or rabble, and then snatch with the boost, another snatch. So he still has a lot of damage that are gonna come up, but the issue here is with the go again and the double draw.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you throw a block with your armor, or maybe you do throw your hand. He decides to throw a block with his armor. That makes sense. Deny the draw. He does have go again. What is he gonna do?
And then
Oof,
it's a rabble.
Rabble.
Rolling a yellow ball lightning, I think.
Yeah,
So
block for 3. Yeah, that's fine.
yeah, I just want to be sure we are not going for the
Mhm.
double draw. I think it's still okay. Like
Yeah, he's fine. I think taking the sword at the end brings them both to very similar life total. They've both used their armor a bit.
yeah,
So
but
we
not
have the
that much.
snatch. So again, very similar situation to last turn. If I'm Kevin here, I am very tempted to break my Snapdragon scalars just to put the pressure on Thibaut. Um, Thibaut doesn't have any embodiments of Earth, so him blocking would be very inefficient.
Clearly saying that they are well prepared for the mirror. I hope so. But I think everyone is prepared for the mirror. And I think he drew a plunder and
So he
yep.
did not give it go again. He just drew the card and ends his turn. He is being more patient than I would be, uh, which is not a bad thing. I like to be the aggressor in this matchup, but being patient is definitely smart as well.
Oh, there is only one attack in Thibaut hands.
Is that not an E strike at the bottom?
Now it's a
Oh no, it's a
plundering
plunder.
and a captain's call. It's the
So,
exact opposite problem that Kevin has.
so he really wants to draw from this.
Yep.
Um,
This
Plunder
is
one was from
why
Arsenal.
plundering was from the arsenal, yes, and it's a red one. So it's +3, and the with lightning is a yellow one, I think. So it's +2.
Weave Lightning is a yellow one, so it is +2, so +5. And he also does the
Plus
Captain's Call.
captain code is
Give it.
+2.
Is it Captain Call blue or red?
It's a blue one, or no, it's a red one.
I do think
It's +2.
it's still +2. Yeah.
I think they are
Uh,
both going with +2. It's just changing what you can target.
and Ball Lightning yellow. So
So
nine in total right now. And if it hits, draw a card. Uh, and that's a lot of damage that again Briar can't really block efficiently.
depending of what he has in hand.
Hmm. Does he have go again in hand this turn? That is a question. I know he has a surge and still a snatch, and I don't know what the other
Oh,
two
he's
cards are.
taking all the damage.
He must have a big turn then coming next, which is fine. Draw from Plunder Run.
Oh, Gargan
Uh,
and do you want to be the first one to play it?
uh, okay.
It's closing the chain, right?
It does close the chain, yes. E strike 5, draw a card. And that's, I think, the play here. Oh, he chooses to. Oh, he's still
No,
considering.
it's just
Yeah,
closing the chain. It's important with the ball lightning.
it is, yeah. Um, I think he plays the E strike. He does 5, draw a card, because if it's a 4 plus, he can then break his Snapdragon scalars. If it's something that he wants to put in Arsenal, he can put it in Arsenal, yeah. So 5, he drew his card. It was, I think, a Captain's Call. So it's most likely going to go in his Arsenal. And we see Kevin use his armor here, so blocking.
Yeah, you want to keep his hand.
So what is his hand? I see a Plunder Run.
It's 2 plundering, like one in the arsenal. Oh, it choose to blocked. Fully blocked.
Uh, Had he? Yeah, he hadn't used a skull cap before. So that is blocking 5 here.
Exactly what's
Uh,
needed.
and we arsenal the Captain's Call. Fair enough.
Yep.
Now, let's see what Kevin does. Is it a Plunder Run in Arsenal? For some reason, I thought it was a Snatch.
No, on Kevin it's a red plundering. And he has a
Okay,
second one
nice.
in hand, so it's a double plundering turn.
Yeah. So you go with
And
the
this
other
is, I
one.
think this is why he decided to not to fully blocked, so Thibaut does not have any token.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lightning surge. I don't know for how much it's coming.
Is coming for 7 with the Plunder Run. So 7 go again. If it hits, draw 2 cards. Uh, it's
Oh,
interesting that he decided not to go with the Snatch instead.
you probably
But
want to
maybe,
save it later.
But if the snatch hits, you're drawing 3 cards, which is a lot.
Yeah, but now he
Uh,
will play it and draw for sure. Like, give me your hand.
yeah, but I think Thibaut
Like,
here has to give the hand.
yeah, but it's fully blocked, and because it's fully blocked, which is basically what you will do, you will draw more with a snatch.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's fully blocked, but then
Yeah.
Thibaut does not have any hand left. So we just draw and pass.
So we have an E-strike, a sting of sorcery, a plunder run, and what's the last card? A sonata on Kevin's side.
I love Sonata, it's one of my favorite cards.
I think sonata. I would play sonata there, but it does feel slightly risky.
Why?
Um, because you could just play sting, plunder run, and E-strike, right? And put the
Mm.
sonata at the bottom. But obviously, if you play sonata, then you can like play your plunder run, hit something off the sonata, get your go again, E-strike for 5, draw a card with go again. Like sonata really starts to play, but it does feel like the riskier play because if you don't hit sonata, you're really sad.
I don't know if Flash and But is a game when you have to be risky. How I want to play the Sonata for 2.
All right, he goes for it again.
Great again. 1.
Okay, that's good.
Ah, shit.
It's still fine. He hit it for 1. He has 1 floating. It's not too bad.
Okay.
Uh, Now
Probably
the question
going
is
for
which
the
one.
E-strike. No. Oh no, you already had one in hand. Maybe it's a scare for a scare.
I don't think it matters too much because whatever you're getting, you're most likely putting it on the bottom using your own E-strike.
Oh, yeah, probably. And still making 1 damage
Yes.
from the Sonata. And you say you will have only 10 minutes in this game, and I think we will have more.
I said 20 minutes.
You say 20 minutes, right?
Uh, but they are playing very well, so both players are playing very well, which is keeping the game very close and tense, which is what we like to see, right?
Yes,
Um,
this is a final.
mhm. Thibaut takes the arcane. Um,
Yes, he has no way to prevent it. Ah, yes, the skull cap, but that's all.
yeah, but that's not live yet.
Yep. Equals scare pitch is strike, make wrench and tunic for sword. Oh, that's not a bad play, right?
He
We'll see.
could.
I'm hearing Kevin shuffling his card from my place. But with a slightly delay.
I personally prefer the play the plunder run, play the E strike, because then he has to block with 2 cards at least, if not more. Um,
So he's giving
and
it to
then
go again.
mhm.
Or maybe pump, he still have the Snapdragon scaler.
Yeah, I think based on the no block, he did just give it go again.
Yep, so going for 5 damage.
And I think he is going with the play that Sleep Strong was saying, where he ends up with the plunder run in Arsenal.
Yep. It's which color it is?
I'm guessing since he kept it over damage, probably red, or maybe yellow. I hope it's not blue.
You hope. We will see
Okay,
next turn.
we will see next turn. Um, but we have Thibaut taking all the damage here.
Yeah, he has a good end. I think it's a rebel, a ball lightning. There is still the captain call.
Hmm
And the
and the
nimblism.
nimblism, and he has a double rabble. So the question is, what is he going to reveal with the rabble? Because that's actually going to matter a lot.
Yep.
Because obviously, if he reveals a blue, his second rabble is also very weak.
So first ball lightning.
5, 4, 8, 7 or 8. I can't tell the color of the ball lightning right now.
I think it's I don't know, yellow or red.
Yeah.
I think it's the red.
So it's most likely for 8 here. And if it hits, obviously does the extra damage.
And I think that does Kevin have non-attack action on his hand? Tryon, who is from Fallen Templars? I've not heard of any teams in Belgium. Let me know.
He does have a weave lightning in hand.
Yes, so it's blocking for 3, right?
And then he has the ball lightning and entwine lightning. So I think he wants to keep them two together.
Yeah, ball lightning cannot block, so...
And then he has the ravenous rabble.
Which is not blocking that well also.
Yep. I think he might need to take the damage here to get his armor online.
Oh yes, you're right. Maybe that's the play, but like...
It feels bad, right? Because you
Yes.
get very close to 0, and obviously your opponent has arcane damage.
You still have the tunic for the next turn.
So the hand he's keeping right now can go 4, go again. Oh, and he is keeping the weave lightning in hand as well. So rabble, let's say rabble does 4, and then you have 4, and then you have the ball lightning. All right, he decides to block here. He is blocking for 5. So is he taking 3? Or not?
Yeah, he has taken damage, but I think they have not updated.
Okay.
So it was
And we
a
have
yellow?
So we have ravenous rabble for 4 here. Oh,
Yeah,
there we go. He took the
4.
damage.
Yeah, but you know what? This final, it's only playing for the fame because both players are qualified for the World National. They are both receiving the same prizes, I think.
But you
So
said it
they are playing
yourself.
for the title.
You said it yourself. Kevin wants the title.
Yep, he won't. But it's just too much damage coming now.
If the life totals are correct, we actually know that Thibaut has 4 and 4. But obviously, from Kevin's perspective, that is very difficult to just take and
Oh,
accept.
he can know there is still the Snapdragon scalers, or he didn't know if this is an attack on end, right?
But he can still assume that if it's not an attack, then you know it's pitch for the sword and do 4. So he will have the skull cap to survive. The question is, can he kill Thibaut with the 3 cards he has left? I think he decided to take the 4, and then he
Yeah, he
takes the
takes the
Ravenous
4.
Rebel, and he goes down to 1.
Oh my god. 1. You really need to make this 7 damage now. Like, he can't...
Oh. Or maybe we miscounted because he's going down to 4. So maybe he was fully
he
blocking the ball
blocked with
lightning?
it blocked with a skull cap.
Yeah, but so I think we miscounted on the ball lightning turn. I think it was less damage than we thought.
It's
Um,
a blue plunderer, I think. You are disappointed.
it's okay, as I'm not disappointed. Uh, I can only give my opinion, but obviously I'm biased because we can see both players' hands. So we do have Ravenous Rabble for 5. Go again if it has draw a card. What is the last card? It's a ball
It's a ball
lightning
lightning.
for 2. I think it's a yellow one.
Oh, it will take. Yeah, it was under 8 damage because player life was not up to date, but it takes the damage from the Ravenous Rabble.
And then he finally uses his sword.
Two and two. So it's at 3. But it has only 2 card hands. Oh my god, it's so tense.
But we already know the 2 card. The 2 cards he
It's
has
Lightning
present
Surge
an Arcanic Shockwave,
and
which
Arcanic
presents
Shock.
8 damage. So Kevin is gonna have to block this well. Probably using his tunic if he wants to survive.
Do you think he will go with Go again now? Kevin is at 4. It's display on the overlay, Kiki.
I think the chat is confused about the turn where Kevin updated his life totals a bit
Yeah,
late. I
because it
think.
does not update it right away.
Yeah, I think they played the turn and then it was updated after the chain had resolved. So that's why we were slightly confused about life totals. Uh,
Trian love to take risk with pronostic. Oh, I don't want to see him lose.
is he worried about the lightning press?
Oh, if
Well,
he has
actually,
it,
he
he's
knows. No,
dead.
that's
No,
no,
no, he
because he
knows the
already
card.
knows. Yeah,
He knows the
he knows the
card.
card. So he has full knowledge of his opponent's hand here, and
Yeah, he's going with
blocks
his
forward
tunic.
the tunic. That makes sense. We give go again, and then we go for another 4. So you have to give 1 card, and you're gonna keep 2 cards in your hand. What is the first card? I saw
It's
an
an
Arcanic
N1
Crackle.
lightning and I think it's a Ravenous Rubble
I think
and
so too.
uh,
Arcanic Crackle.
yep,
Hmm.
it's not blocking well.
Well, either he gives 1 card or 2 cards.
Yeah, that's the
Doesn't have much of a
question.
choice.
But the problem is if you're at 3 and you are not putting any pressure, you are threatened to be eaten by the Rosetta.
Yep. He can keep 2 cards in his hand and swing for 4 then 4. But he is gonna play it safe and block fully here. Maybe he's hoping that Thibaut doesn't get a very aggressive hand here. Because Thibaut is gonna have to block. And seeing Thibaut's hand, I saw a Nimbalism and a Sonata. Sonata, very interesting in this spot. We
Oh,
have a Ball Lightning, and I don't know what the last card is. And a Plunder Run. So actually,
you need 2 blocks, right?
yes. But
Blocking
the
fois-ci.
Sonata is going to be very important here. Because whether he hits or not matters a lot. Let us see. And he does not hit on the sonata.
Ooh.
That is hard. Um, if he had hit, he could have played the nimblism, gotten go again, done a big ball lightning, follow it with a sword. The whiff on the sonata is actually quite painful. Um, I mean, I'm making it sound like it's the end of the game, but that's not necessarily true. We don't know how well Kevin's hand can block here. I think that's a yellow ball lightning, if I'm right. Sh-
Don't know why it's so hard to see.
It's coming in for, I'm gonna
I think it's
assume
a
2.
red. No?
If it's a red, that's a bigger problem for Kevin.
I still have one token, so
Oh, he does. So he does.
it's fine, I think.
Yep.
He
But then
has
you're
two
gonna have the
plunder and
sword.
a captain's call, I think.
Does he have any attacks in his hand?
I'm not sure. Yes, I
Uh,
think there is a lightning surge at the end, but I'm not 100% sure.
it's either a lightning surge or an embolism.
He's scared of lightning press. Yeah.
Now, he is scared of lightning press. You gotta wonder though, if you have lightning press, do you play the sonata and react the way Thibaut reacted when it whiffs? I know I'm like reading into people's
He has
reactions
he
and
has
stuff.
he has the nimblism in hand, and he decided
Mhm.
not to play it. So maybe it's a way to bluff.
I think it's A way to bluff, but B, you can just pitch it for the sword. And also it bluffs like an attack. Like it does a lot of bluffs
Oh, he
there.
can still swing for the sword.
Mhm.
Yes.
But see, the issue is, as Kevin, can you play around a lightning press? Can you afford to? Because let's say it is a lightning press and you overblock, he
But
just pitches a
he
lightning press.
cannot take any damage, right? Because he will be
Yeah,
dead on the Rosetta after that.
exactly. That's why he can't play around the lightning press. And you see him make the right call. He didn't play around it. He just blocked for 3 and
He
said, if you
cannot.
have it, you have
He
it.
cannot.
And we now see the Rosetta for 2 and 2. So he will most likely, well, he will take the 2 arcane. He can't block that.
Yep.
And then he'll need to block the 2 physical. And he'll need to come back with 2 cards. And I think he has Plunder Run, and Surge.
So we'll probably go plunder and search. Don't think
Um,
this would be enough.
I think you could go Surge, break your Snapdragons, pitch the Plunder Run to hit with the sword
To
for
max
2.
the two.
Yeah. Because Thibaut is on 2, so that would force his hand. And
Yeah,
Kevin
but
is on 1, so Thibaut's call cap is never gonna be used anymore. So he decides to pitch the Plunder Run. Oh, it's a blue Plunder Run.
he wants to make a token, a ancient.
Yeah. So it is a blue Plunder Run. So he makes a Rune Chant and goes for.
Oh my god, it's coming. It's lethal. No.
No, it's coming in for 5, and then the sword will come in for 2. So Thibaut can definitely survive this. So he'll take the
Oh,
arcane.
1-1.
This is
He
a
has to
very
break the
close game.
snap. Yes.
Yeah, he does have to break the snap here. I do agree with Matt. I think he should have kept the card in hand to bluff as his own lightning press, and then do the null rune afterwards. But he is still forcing cards out of the
I think he
hands.
wants to force his opponents to give cards.
Mhm. And we did see in Thibaut's hand that it was the lightning press, which he couldn't block with, so he actually didn't have a choice about what to do here. And he pushes 2 damage.
And I think it's
Uh,
game, right?
I can't see if no.
It's a
Well, maybe
sonata in end. Maybe you can kill
the,
with a sonata.
the sonata needs to hit. Um, And he doesn't have any lightning cards, so Entwined Lightning doesn't have Go again. But he does have 2 non-attack actions. Let's see what they do.
I think Kevin has one. But...
He decides to block with the Sonata. Okay. Pitches the Plunder Run, which is again a Plunder Run blue, apparently. So he gets his Rune Chant, plays an Embolism, and then comes in for 1 Arcane, 7 Physical. And that should be game.
Game!
It is.
Okay.
Rune
Lot
Chant's
of
coming in
GG.
clutch. Really close game by both players.
Yeah, that was intense.
It was.
Yeah,
really
I
well
think it was
played
the
by
first
both
one to
players.
think about going for the Rune Chant, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was really the decision turn, and also the Sonata who did not work for
Yep.
Thibaut.
That Sonata.
That's the one damage he was missing. So we are just waiting to see what's going on for the gold foil. I want them to open it on stream. And maybe we will ask a few words with Kevin. Okay, they are opening the gold foil.